Okay, so in the last class we have completed
1 and 2.
Cisco router basic commands, right? Okay, today we are going to work on routing protocol introduction. Okay, lesson 3, introduction to Cisco routing protocol. These are the modules what we will cover in this. Okay, so before we work on routing, we should understand why should we need routing. Okay, that normally you know that if you have two network and you want to create communication between those networks, you cannot create communication between them, so you need routing for that one. Okay, so now understand here, routing is what? Routing is the process with which you forward the packet from one network to another network. Routing is also used to create communication between two different unreachable network. Okay, it is also to choose the best path from your routing table. You know, router has one kind of map, you know, like the map of your Gambia. So here with that map, if you want to go to Banjul, right, so you should define that, okay, which is the best path. So here also in routing table, in router they have a routing table. In that routing table all destinations are there, so in that they choose the best path and they follow it. Or you can say router make the routing table according to the best path. So maybe it has 4 path, right? So that will be in the topology, you know, like map. So all path will be in the map, so that map is topology. In that topology they choose the best one and they put in the routing table, and if any user wants to go out from that router, so he takes the best path from the routing table and it's go from there. So suppose here you have the user here, right, and this user wanted to go to Google. So you know, like you have two connection, one is from MTN, example, one is from ISP1 and second one is from ISP2. Okay, now if this user wanted to go to Google, so he can go from ISP1 as well and ISP2 also, right? So while coming here, it will come to the router and router will say that, okay, let me check that I should send you from ISP1 or I should send you from ISP2. So he will check in his routing table and according to that he will forward the data. Okay, because he can go from this also, this also, right? Now suppose we are talking about routing and I told you that we need routing, so two different network can communicate, right? So here I have a scenario here, right? And I have a one router here. I have one network 192.168.10.0.24 and one network is 192.168.20.0/24. Okay, so after configuring IP address and all those things, so do these compute network can communicate to this network without routing?
Without routing, no. You mean without?
I just connected with the IP address.
Router.
Yes, and here on this router, do I need to configure routing so this network and this network can communicate?
No, you don't need routing here.
Why?
Okay, two networks.
Yes, one is
These
10 and one is.
You need a routing.
Okay, so let's.
It's two different networks.
Okay. Now, so let's verify that do we need routing or not.
Yeah.
So in which condition you need routing to be enabled on the router and in which condition you don't need that one?
These are different networks.
Yes. So you can say you can say just say any name, don't worry. But you should write the exact name. Okay, but for me it's okay. So now let me take routers. So I can take any routers, okay. So I always recommend you to take this router, but if the lab is small, you can take anyone, okay. Always take this router, okay.
Okay.
This routers which is there, okay. So here according to this lab we have to verify
Only one router.
okay, one router and two network, right. So let's come here, take this router, or maybe just take this router, one router, it's no need to worry. Two switches, one switch, two switch. See what is the benefit in this. Maybe I deleted, okay. I wanted to take two switch, right. Okay, so we'll change switch 1, and now see, right click, duplicate, so another switch. So instead of taking multiple drag and drop, you can make duplicate like this also. In router also, right click, see this, duplicate, another router came, okay. But we should delete this one, okay. So now we need PC, so we'll come here in the PCs, okay. So here we'll take two PCs. So see, simple option is also there, this, okay. Select with the mouse, press shift and leave it like this, say 4 PCs, okay. So PC1 and PC2 is the part of this network, and PC3 and PC4 is the part of this network. Now part is coming for the connectivity. Okay, then you have to click on this to have the interface name. Without interface name you cannot, you will have problem while configuration, okay. Why I am removing these ports? Because these ports are not in use, so don't worry about this, okay. Okay, so here we are going to take one network which is 192.168.10.0/24, and here we will be taking 20.0/24, right. Okay, so this is the network, but so here I am using 192.168.10.1 IP address. Let me make some smaller, so just okay. And here I will be using 20.1. Okay, so this 10.1 will be the default gateway of these network users, right, and this 20.1 will be the default gateway of these users, right. Okay, so let me start all the devices first. And then take this as a console. Okay, PC1. So IP 192.168.10.2/24 and gateway is 10.1. Come here to PC2. Okay, router 1, conf t. You can, maybe if it is very down, you can come here and click on clear screen, and now it is on the top. Okay, so conf t interface fast ethernet 0/0, and then IP address is 192.168.10.1 and the subnet mask. Okay, no shit. Exit. If you want to exit, you can exit, or if you can continue, you can continue from there. Okay, so interface, this is fast ethernet 0/1, right? The another interface, yes. and IP address is
191.68.2.21.220.
Okay, you can run this command, do show IP interface brief exclude unassigned. Why I added do? Because I am running the privilege
Only
mode
the
command in
privilege
the
mode.
configuration mode. Okay, so now see, IP address is configured, right? Now come to PC1, ping. He can ping to his neighbor, no problem, with the same network 10.3, no problem, right? But when he wanted to ping to 20.2 or 20.3, right? 20.2.
Do you configure it?
Okay, I have not. Okay, I did not configure, no problem. IP address 192.168.20.2/24 20.1. Okay, now I have configured, right? No problem. Now you come here and now try to ping. Okay, see, now they are pinging. Did I configure anything on the router? If you will come on the router also, and if you see, so IP protocols, okay, and enter, see, no protocols are running.
Yeah,
No routing protocols are running. But if you will check here, see what is the router communication process. Here it directly says that whenever if you ping to any network, right? Suppose I am pinging to any network, example, right? Okay, so this request will come to router. Router will say that, okay, whatever, do your destination network is in my routing table. You are looking for 20, so do that 20 is in my routing table. Okay, so now you come here and now see, come to a router, okay, router 1, and type so IP route. Okay, so if you are running so IP route, see, 20 network is in my routing table.
It's directly connected.
Yes, so whatever network will be in my routing table, whether it will be a directly connected network or indirectly connected networks, if it is in my routing table, then you can communicate. So see here, 20 and 10 is in the routing table, no problem. Even PC3, which belongs to 20, is communicating to 10, right? So here in this condition, do we need routing here? No. Why? Because any network, even from this router, even 10 networks are connected, no problem. All these 10 networks will be able to communicate to each other. Why? Because they are connected to a router. Yes. So router will create communication between two different networks when they are directly connected without routing. Okay. So here we do not need routing. Okay. So here, so we don't need any kind of routing. Okay, but now come to another condition. Now in this do we need routing?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because this router is connected with how many networks?
These are only two networks.
Two networks. So this network, but when this computer wants to reach this network, so when he will come here, he will say that, please, I want to go to this 20 network. And 20 network is not directly connected. Yes, that's why I have written here, see one thing, that routing is used to create communication between two different network and two different unreachable network. So if the network is reachable, suppose here this 10 network and 20 network is reachable from R1, right? So do we need routing? No. But when the network is unreachable, say network is unreachable, right, this 20 network, then we need routing. Okay, then which type of routing, then we'll understand one by one. So here we need to configure routing on both routers. Okay, now so as we know that routing is a process of selecting path along with the data can be transferred from source to destination, right? Routing is performed by a special device known as router. router works on network layer. This is normal when you network layer of OSI reference model. Okay, a router is a networking device that forwards the packet based on the information available in the packet header and forward with the help of forwarding table. So routing table is, you can say, forwarding table also. Okay, now routing algorithm are used for routing the packets. Okay, so for routing the packets, the router use routing algorithm. So depending on the which type of protocol you have enabled, so according to that protocol algorithm, he will forward your packet. So the routing algorithms is nothing but the software responsible for deciding the optimal path through which packet can be transmitted and how packet can be transmitted. Okay, now packet, see, this algorithm defined that, okay, packet can be transferred from source to destination on the behalf of bandwidth, or on the behalf of hop, or on the behalf of cost. Slowly we will understand. The routing protocol use the metric to determine the best path for the packet delivery. So suppose I have two paths, I have given you example, right? ISP1, ISP2. So here I am. So if I want to go to Google, right? So should I follow ISP1 or ISP2?
It's according to the
according to the metric. We'll understand what is metric. Metric is the path calculation, best path calculation process. Okay, so the metric is the standard of measurement such as hop count, bandwidth, delay. Okay, so according to these algorithm, they define the best path. Okay, now the routing algorithm initialize and maintain the routing table for the process of path determination or the calculation. Okay, now so in routing metrics, what are how we'll understand what is metric and cost. So different routing protocol has a different metric calculation. So routing metrics and cost are used to determine the best path or best route, you say, to the destination. Okay, now the factor used by protocol to determine the shortest path, those factors are known as metric. So suppose I am here, let's come here to this example. So here in this example, suppose this PC wanted to go to Google, but Google can be reachable from this ISP also and this ISP also. So when my packet will come to router 1, right? So my router 1 will forward that packet from this way or this way, right? So it will be determined according to the metric. So whichever has the lowest metric, then he will forward that. But different protocol has different metric calculation. Like suppose I will tell you that please can you give me 1 meter of this. So you will give me as a meter. So this is also measurement, right? So you come here, see, so these are all different measurement metrics. Right. Like see, if I will tell you, okay, give me fuel, so you will go with this, right? Okay, I'll tell you, okay, give me milk, you will go with this. Okay, give me potato, you will use this one. So all different you have measurement, all is our measurement. Yes. So according to your items or components, right, you can use. So can you measure the fuel with this? No. Okay, can you measure the fuel with this? So you can measure this. This is also measurement device, but for the length.
But it's not for fuel.
Yes. Okay, so same here. So metric is the factor. Okay, metric is the factor for calculating the best path, but different protocol has different method of calculating the best path. Okay, so here you can see here, metric are the network variables used to determine the best route to the destination. For some protocols use the static metric, means they have their own kind of value. Okay, they have, okay, so if you want you can change, okay, but by default it is not changeable, but if you want you can change it. Okay, so these metrics is default, right? But if you want you can change also. Yes. Okay, So in a metric we have few elements, like here I have told you here, where is that in the metric? Like we have hop count, we have bandwidth, we have delay, we have load.
Current
Okay,
load.
yes, so we have load also. Load means the link load, means how the link is busy. So if the link is busy, so your network will be slow. So how here it is coming to know, see this. So one element, or you can say metric, is known as administrative distance. So what is the administrative distance? So administrative distance, AD, is the feature that routers use in order to select the best path where there are more than two different routes at the same destination from different routing protocols you will have in your routing table. So administrative distance define the reliability of the routing protocol. Now simple, very simple, I am telling you. Suppose you are here, okay, now you want to go to Banjul, okay, you want to go to Banjul. Now you have two car, okay, or maybe three cars you have, okay, one car, two car, three car. Now you wanted to pick any of them to reach here Banjul, right? Normal, what you will check in those cars to go there?
If they are all working,
Yes,
I will
always.
check which has. First, I go for this. I will calculate how many number of people going.
No, only you.
Only
are-
me.
Yes.
I check the fuel first. I will the one that has fuel that can take me to
Okay.
Banjul,
Okay.
and I will not take the bigger one. I will use the smaller one.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
or less.
Ah.
fuel
So
consumption.
yes, less fuel consumption.
Consumption,
So
yeah.
you will say that first. You will say that, okay, let me find which car is more stronger, reliable. Okay. Then you will say, okay, which car is taking low fuel to reach there? Which car has battery is okay, tires are okay, everything. You will check your comfort level, right? Then you saw that, okay, I have three car, but this car is best, right? So you selected those criteria according to human nature, right? So here also, if you have, this is a router, okay, now your router has three routing protocol configured, example. So from this also you can reach here, from this also you can reach here, from this also you can reach here, okay. So here your router will decide which one is best according
use
to
that route.
administrative distance.
And use that route.
Yes, and then he will follow that route. So here, see, there are some routing protocols which are configured here, right, with the matrix. So if I am directly connected, so my metric is 0, okay, administrative distance is 0. So if I am directly connected, so 0 is lowest is the best. Okay, if a static route is there, 190. So suppose here, if this is your router, and this router is connected with this destination with three protocols. So one is 0, one is 1, and one is 90. So which one you will take? 0, because that is the lowest. So these are the administrative distance, okay, which
Okay.
defines you the reliability between the routing protocols, that which is reliable, okay. Now second one is hop count. Maybe suppose I have I have a router. Here also I am connected to this destination with the same routing protocol, and here also I am connected with the same routing protocol, okay. Now this selecting of this administrative distance will be tie. Are you understanding? So you'll say that, okay, the both is using same routing protocol. Okay, now we are saying that hop count means if they are using same, hop count means how far it is. So from here it is 2 hop count, and from here it is 1 hop count. So let's check the lowest one
With the one.
with the lowest one, okay. So the least hop count will be selected as a best path. Now delay. So every link has, or every interface, you can say, it has a delay on that. I will show you how to check the delay on the link, okay. And every link has the default delay predefined for that one. If you want, you can change, okay. So now maybe suppose here also, now just think that, okay, administrative distance is same, okay, both protocol is using same administrative distance, okay. Hop count is also same, here also 2 hop count, here also 2 hop count. Now in that, which one is the best? So then they will check the link, they'll say that okay, everything is okay. Now let's check the link. So which link has the same delay? Okay, then he will say that okay, is it a same delay or different delay? So whichever has the lowest delay, then he will select as a best path. Okay, lowest delay will be considered as a best path. But slowly you will understand. Okay, but here you should have the idea of these things, that how routers select the best path. Then they will select the bandwidth. Okay, now whichever has not lowest bandwidth, here you have to find the highest bandwidth. So here say that okay, link 1 has the highest bandwidth. Okay, let me check that one. Load. Okay, load means which link is busy. Okay, so if that link has too much load, so he will not consider as yes. So the lowest load will be considered as a best path. Then reliability. Reliability says that which link is reliable. Reliable means, you know, some link is coming up, going down, coming up. So automatically router finds the reliability of the link according to the link status. That from how long that link is up
and down or down.
Yes, like suppose one link is up from last 10 months. Okay, or maybe last one month. But one link is fluctually going up and down, right? So he will automatically find that no, this link is reliable and this link is not reliable. So the automatically he give the numbers for that reliability on the link. Okay. So this I have already explained you, right? So what is metric? So metrics are cost value used by the routers to determine the best path to a destination network. Several factors helps the dynamic routing protocol or routing protocol to decide which is the preferred and the shortest path to a particular destination, right? Okay, these factors are known as metric and algorithms to determine the best path. If multiple routes exist to a given destination, network ID and the metric is used to decide which route is the best to be taken to reach the destination. The route means path. Always keep in mind, if the route or path with the lowest metric is preferred route, and then it will be in your routing table. Okay, now types of routing. So routing has divided into two parts. Okay, one is interior routing and one is exterior routing. Okay, may IGP or EGP. IGP means maybe I have 10 routers, right? All routers I want to configure in my own domain. Okay, like in IST I want to configure 10 routers. So all those 10 routers are configured in the domain of IST, so that belongs to IGP, means interior. But IST wants to communicate to EcoBank. So EcoBank has its own domain and I have my own domain, right? Okay, so if your network wanted to communicate to another domain network, so that is known as EGP, external domain. See, here you have routers, maybe you have 10 routers in IST. Okay, so all these 10 routers is a part of IGP network, interior gateway routing protocol network. So this IGP is divided into three parts. One is known as static routing, default routing and dynamic routing. Now static routing, you know, with the name static, you know, static IP address, so you configure manual, it's a fix. Okay, default is the default routing, you don't need to configure anything. Okay, and in dynamic routing we have to decide the routing, how it can be configured. And the dynamic has three part: RAP, EIGRP and OSPF. Okay, so dynamic has three part. One is distance vector routing protocol, second one is hybrid routing protocol, and third one is link state routing protocol. So we'll understand what is distance, what is hybrid, what is link state. Okay, and this is the part of EGP. I added there, but don't worry about, it's not part of your, okay, because this is a part of BGP and all those things are part of CCNP. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, so in the type of routings, see, we understood routing, right? What is routing? So routing is a process which help you to create communication between two different unreachable networks. Second, routing help you to find the best path to reach to the destination. Routing is maintained and kept those information in the routing table on the behalf of matrix, right? So which maybe I have two paths. So how I will select that
The
best path in my routing table?
According to the matrix.
According to the matrix, and we have seen what is matrix. So matrix is the calculation process of best path. So different routing protocols has different metric calculation that we will check. Okay, so static, default and dynamic is the type of routing protocol. So how many ways you have to configure routing? So we have three ways to configure routing: static, default and dynamic. In a static we configure everything manually, okay, and in a static routing your router can only communicate to those routers to whom you know already. Here in default routing you can communicate to anyone to whom you know or you don't know. In dynamic routing, okay, they configure the routings and they exchange the information between them, then they create communication. So we have RIP, EIGRP and OSPF. Okay. Static routing is also known as non-adaptive routing, means it do not accept the routing from the neighbor. It only rely on his own routing table, and that routing table is maintained by administrator. So it is a technique in which administrator manually adds the routes in the routing table. It's not depending on the metric. Okay. Now a router can send the packet to the destination along the route defined by the administrator. In this technique, routing decisions are not made based on the condition or topology of the network. So it is only based on the administrator. If he wants to go, suppose I want to go to Banjul, right? So if administrator wants to say no, I won't, let me go first to first go to Senegal and then I will go to Banjul. So it's all depends on him. He can go like that also. Okay. So it's not a correct condition. But in the dynamic routing protocol, the routing decision are depending on the topology and the network. Okay. Now default routing. So default routing is a technique in which router is considered to be sending all the packets to the same hop or same device which is connected to him. It doesn't matter wherever he belongs to, and or wherever he is sending the data, or wherever he is belonging to. Okay, or from which network he belongs to. So it doesn't check anything. So any packet which comes to him, he directly forward. Any packet which comes to him, he directly forward. That's it. So same like the default routing is configured in the organizations for creating communication to ISP. So like suppose I want to go to Google, go ISP. I want to go communicate to Yahoo. So all packets will be directly forwarded to ISP. So yes. So a packet is transmitted to the device for which is considered in the default routing. So whatever packet will come, it will forward that. Default routing is used when the network deal with a single exit point in the organization. Okay. So if you have multiple networks, multiple links, so in that condition you cannot configure default routing. Okay. It is also useful when bulk of transmission of your network have to be transmitted to a next hop or ISP. Okay. When a specific route is mentioned in the routing table, the route will be chosen first for the specific route rather than default route. Suppose in my routing table, in my router which is working for the default route, so I will say that no, for this network, okay, for this network you go to this router, and for all other except all other network you go to this router. Okay. So he will check first, go to this network, then he will go. So if route is available for that destination in the routing table, he will follow that route. If the route is not available for that destination router, then he will follow the default routing. The default route is chosen only when a specific route is not mentioned in the routing table. If it is not there, then okay, go with this.
Yes.
If it is mentioned, then go with this. Yes. And dynamic routing. Dynamic routing is known as adaptive routing, means I accept your neighbor routing.
Okay.
So it is a technique in which routers add a new route in the routing table for each packet in the response of to change the change in the condition or topology of the network. So whatever you want to send the packet from your network to another network, so you have to mention that network in your routing table. Okay, now dynamic routing are used to discover the new routes to each to reach the destination. Okay, in dynamic routing you can have RAPE, EIGRP, OSPF. Okay, these are the protocols which are used in the dynamic routing. If any route goes down, then the neighbor automatically adjust. Okay, adjustment will made between each other. Okay, suppose I am here and I am here. So if I have three network, so in dynamic network they share the network. They say that okay, I know about three network, please also you also share about your network. So they will share all the networks. So once they will share, it has 6 network and it has also 6 networks. Okay, now if one network is failed, so now he has how many network now? 5 network, right? So he will update to him that please my one network is down. So these are yes. So in the dynamic routing, the dynamic protocol should have following features. All routers must have same dynamic routing protocol running in the order to exchange the route. So like here I told you, they exchanging the information. If the router discover any changes in the conditions or in the topology or in the routing table, then the router broadcasts those information to its neighbor routers to change the routing tables. Okay, now what is routing table? Okay, so now what is routing table? So remember I told you router make the decision to forward the packets on the behalf of routing table, and routing table is maintained on the behalf of metric, and metric is maintained on the behalf of routing what you are using, right? Everything is connected. Yes. So router examine the destination IP address, okay, of received packet and make the routing decision accordingly to determine out means from which interface it will forward or send the packet. The routers use routing table, and routing table is the list of network for which routers and the routers know the routes. Okay, so if this router has these informations, right, so this router can only forward the information of these two networks. Okay, means can reach to this two network. The routing table of the routers are unique and it is stored in the RAM of the device. So if your router is booting 10 times, so 10 times it will load the routing tables. And routing table they exchange between the neighbors. Okay, when a router received a packet that need to be forwarded to the destination host or another network, okay, it examines same thing, the destination packet, and look in the routing information. Okay, so for that routing information is in the routing table. Okay, and routing table contain 3 important elements, that the network and the subnet mask. See this, the network and /24 means the subnet mask, the remote router information. So he's saying that maybe if some other network router is here, so this router know that okay, to reach this you have to go to this IP address to this router. So remote router information, and the outgoing interface. He is saying that if you want to reach this network, so go with this outgoing interface. Okay, yes. Okay, see here, this router 192.168.5.0. so you see outside interface, right? So these 3 interface you will see. So we'll check all these 3 while configuring routing. Okay. So same thing here, also explaining routing is the process of sending packet of information from one network to another network. Okay, routes are usually based on the destination network, okay, not on the destination host. So whatever information you will find in the routing table, that is network, not single IP. Okay, so the router build the routing table, and that is that contains the following information. See, the destination network and the subnet mask, the next hop to reach that destination network, and metric and the administrative distance for that network. Okay, here we have one more thing, that what is routed protocol and what is routing protocol. Okay, so routed protocols are TCP IP only. Routing protocols are RIP, EIGRP, OSPF and all those. Okay, BGP, ISIS like that. Okay, so we are going to work on routing protocol, and we have only one routed protocol. But earlier when the network came, right, at that time we would have multiple routed protocols also, but now we have single routed protocol due to OSI reference model. Okay, so now we will be coming to know about these things, that okay, best route selection process, this is very much important. Okay, so I'll come here in my previous slides. Okay, suppose this is my router, right? I have to go to Google. I can go to Google from this way also and this way also, right? So my router will take decision to reach to Google via this or via this, right? On what are the sequence. Okay, I know that he will follow the best metric, right? So which has the lowest metric, he will keep that information in the routing table, and then he will follow about that one, right? But which metric he will choose first, because metric criteria.
The network and the subnet.
Yes.
Marks.
So he's saying that longest prefix length. Longest prefix length means longest subnet mask. Okay, so I can come here to that example again.
Okay, longest subnet mask.
Okay, now tell me, what is the Google IP address?
1.1.1.1
/26,
and
from down
/28.
So which has the longest?
Subnet mask.
Which has the longest subnet mask?
28.
So now the first element is the longest prefix.
Okay.
So according to the first element, now tell me which is the best path?
28.
Yeah, from this way, right? From Camtel.
Mm.
Okay, now come to the another element. Okay, if both side longest element is same, right, then he will go with the lowest administrative distance, right? Okay, now come here. Okay, now this side is static, and this side is, assume that this is also 28 and this is also 28, assume. Now, okay, now here we have, then he will go with the second criteria. Second criteria is saying that lowest administrative distance, right? Okay, so the administrative distance of a static route is, I have written here, come down, lowest administrative distance of a static route is 1, and RIP is 120. Now tell me which is the best. To
go with the static route.
MTN, ISP. Okay, now assume that this is also RIP and this is also RIP. Prefix is also same. Okay, and here routing protocol is also same. Okay, now then they will go with the lowest metric. Okay, now a lowest metric means it will define, okay, which has the smallest hop, which is working on the link. Okay, so we'll work on this. Okay, so its metric allow a router to choose the best path within a routing protocol. Okay, so in the distance vector routing protocol they use distance. Okay, in the link state routing protocol they use cost, and like in the hybrid routing protocol they use hop and cost both. You can say metric. Okay, bandwidth, sorry, the lowest bandwidth, the highest bandwidth, the lowest cost, like this. Okay, so now they will say that, okay, if this one has the lowest cost, let's go with this one. If all is same, no problem, but if this has the lowest metric, okay, go with this one. Okay, now so the best route selection process example, see, the first one is longest prefix. Okay, so here, see, now tell me, now here I think you will understand. Now here which has the longest prefix to reach Google?
/26.
So he will follow this
Cantel.
path, right? Cantel. Okay. Now lowest administrative distance. So if prefix is same, just assume that this is also 26, this is also
Follow
26.
MTN.
Then he will follow MTN because the static is 1. Okay. Then if this is also static and this is also static, assume, then he will follow the lowest metric. So within a routing protocol, they find that, okay, which has the lowest metric. Okay, so lowest metric is defined by the link, cost, and all those
And
things.
the bandwidth.
Yes, so we'll understand on slowly on this, but this is easy to understand. This you will understand in, I think in I think in REAP EIGRP when we will configure dynamic routing protocol. Okay, and now see, if all the above three statement will match, then the router will go for load balancing. So if everything is same, then one packet from here, one packet from here, one client will go from here, one client will go from here, like this. Yes. Yes. Okay, so here we have some administrative distance. Connected is 0, static is 1. EIGRP, you don't know this, don't worry, this is part of CCNP. Okay, or we will see this one also later on, don't worry. Okay, BGP we are not going to see here. Internal BGP and external BGP, ISIS, don't worry. Okay, internal EIGRP. So EIGRP has two administrative distance. One is 90 and one is 170. This also we'll say. Okay, normally for the normal test you have to understand connected, static, EIGRP, OSPF, RIP. That's it. Okay, like what is here in this list. Okay. So here we came to know introduction of routing. Okay, routing introduction. Okay, then in the second lesson we'll come to know about how we should configure routing with the help of static routing, then how we'll configure routing with the help of default routing, then dynamic routing, like that.